Hello, Judy from Thistledew Creations here. I did these Christmas ATCs with pockets on the back. And I was just trying to decide what to do for the tags. And it just came to me just now. What I can do is, I did have some of these in when I did the video, which I can keep in there, but I might add a little. I was thinking I couldn't add anything to them because they were going to get too thick. That's my concern. But I think I could add washi tape, and it won't get, even if it's thick, it'll be slippery, so it'll slide in and out of the pocket better. So let's do some. I'm gonna poke out these little holes. These are tags just from the dollar store, I think. I've got 4 cards, so, and I'll put that one in that different one. 4 cards that have the green buttons that I did on video. The other one has a black and white button, and I did it on the snippet strip video. So that one I'll use in there. It's a little different. I was going to see what I got for twine here. I think I will do, well, I've got some really cute ribbon, but I think it's too wide to go through. It's going to have to be twine for these ones. I don't have my twine out handy. I do have some fairly thin red string. I don't use red a lot. I think I keep mentioning that. Better pull that out just for put in with my Christmas stuff. There's a bit of silver. Good for Christmas. There's some nice green, but I think it's the wrong green. It's more of a springy green to me. Although I think some of the stuff that I've got with the pale pink has that tone in it. I do have some gold. So this is just a little jar where I keep scraps of string. There's a little red one in the bottom. Get it out. Might be too short. And that's that curling ribbon. I don't really want to use that. Oh, I could use this if I can get it through the holes. And there's some black. Is it black and white or purple and white? I think it might be purple and white. Those are too small. Sometimes when you're doing junk journaling, you just put like a few strings in behind a tag sticking out. So I save them for that kind of situation. This yarn type stuff might be good too. I think I like the vibe on that. Sorry, I just bonked you. And there's just some kitchen twine. There's some more of the gold. Pull it out while I can. And then I'll put this back. Trying really hard to keep my desk. I just tidied it yesterday. To keep it from getting so chaotic. And I think that's gonna go. I don't want to use that. I do like the look of this, but maybe not for this project. I'm thinking that might be the ticket. I do have some silver on all of these though. Anyway, the main thing was decorating the tags. So let's put these off to the side or put them up top. Can you see them? Yeah. Just to remember what we're doing. And then this little guy has music and coffee dyed, and he's just plain on the back. I think all I'm gonna do for him is put, because it's cardinal, I'm gonna put the little cardinal tape all the way around at the bottom. Just sort of center one up on the front and wrap it around. And I know it's probably not gonna Oh, it's not too bad actually for meeting up at the back. If I took this that I was just about to throw in the garbage and just like this, and then just put a tiny little strip of glue there and set that into it, cover up that joint that didn't quite meet. As long as that is all glued down, it should be fine. Can't do anything that is too dimensional because you want it to slide into the pocket. So I'm going to let that dry. Before I put that aside, I'm going to ink that some more. Not nearly enough ink on that. And on the front, I just want to put a little bit of ink on the washi tape. And just a little there. And then once that's dry, we'll try it in the pocket. So that goes with that one. And then these other ones, I'm going to try just a simple layering up of some washi tape. And then the other thing about that is whoever gets the ATC can use the washi tape if they want to, because I'm not going to glue it on. I'm just going to wrap it around. And one thing, I put these all onto cards, and what I've found is it's easiest to get it started again if you rip it just past the edge of the card. If you rip it right at the edge, sometimes you can't find the end. So I rip it just past the edge. I'm going to put this sort of up towards the top. Actually, I'm going to ink the card first. I'm going to just do one to see how it turns out, and then I'll either do the other ones the same or adjust my technique and do it differently. And I don't want to glue much down to this. Maybe what I will do, because I do have some of the green music paper left, and it's not much enough to really do much of a project with. Maybe I'll just do this piece up at the top, and then tape from there down. So what I'll do is I'll ink that bottom edge really good, really well, and then I'm gonna glue up this spot here. The only problem is I'm gonna have to poke that hole out, but that's not a big deal. And then I'll put that down so that it comes just below the shoulder of the tag, that being the shoulder. That's what I mean by the shoulder. I don't know if that's correct terminology or not, and I don't care. And then I'm just going to trim around that. Kind of losing, these tags have a bit of a zigzaggy edge. I'm kind of losing that by doing this, but I'm not too worried about that. So I'll let that just dry a little bit before I poke those holes out. I can poke it from the back once it's dry. Just positioning that a bit, and then I will ink around that. And then from there down, I will start wrapping my washi tape. I'm gonna leave that little space. Almost looks like it's dripping. I like that. This stuff is really not very sticky. I don't think washi ever is. Just want to wrap it back onto itself because I think it'll stick to itself just fine. Although this has already been taken off of the spool, put onto the card. But there's the first one. That's the cardinals, and then I'll do a strip of just pine cones and poinsettias. This is a good way for me to use some of this up and share it. And I'm going to leave the little space so that they can see that it's washi. Try to keep it nice and even. It feels like I have 2 layers of it here. I just might have. And then I'll do a layer of the black. And that should fill the card up enough that it doesn't look so plain. It's not really then plain on the back for journaling, but this is removable, so they could still take it off and journal on the back. I'm gonna want that to stay stuck down. Might have to burnish it. And then that's a nice little treat for whoever gets that ATC. They can use to make some more ATCs with, if that's all they make. Some people aren't into the whole junk journaling thing, they just make ATCs. Although I think once you go down the paper crafting rabbit hole, it's hard not to do a bit of everything. It is for me anyway. I might not be giving that enough time, but I feel like that needs a bit more glue there. Oops. And then, I'm really struggling here. I'm just going to poke that out. And I'm going to let it dry before I try to put any cord through. I'll do a couple more of these. I like the way that's turned out, so I think I'll do them all that way. So I'm going to cut where that's already cut. And that piece can be upside down, doesn't matter. I like that it's the green music instead of black and white music. So I'm going to ink this up so that when they take the washi tape off, if they do, it still looks nice. These do kind of have a front and back. You can tell they're die cut because the front is sort of rounded and the back is sort of concave. See, that just looks so much more interesting than that. No, they're probably not going to take the green music paper part off, but I just can't help it. I go around the whole thing. These make nice little gift tags. I might just collage some for on top of the gifts that I give this year. I could almost use an assistant here that just does my inking for me while I'm decorating. Kimberly, if you ever want to come and craft with me, you can be my inker. Of course, she'd be crafting right along with me, so that wouldn't work. Maybe I got a couple other friends that might be able to come and be my inker for a day. That would make a fun video, wouldn't it? Let's just do these in tandem. And just below the shoulder, as I said. Oh, I didn't ink these. And they just need the bottom edge right now. And that's not quite making it to the top, so I'm gonna move it up. I wasn't sure if I was gonna move it up, but yeah, I am. The only thing better would be if this was like Jingle Bells showing or something, but Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer music or something like that. But I don't have a lot of Christmas music. That's what I could ask for in my Wednesday wishes. Christmas sheet music. It kind of would have made sense to do this and then ink. Take me a few seconds to do them again. And see, once you've got your first one done and you know that that's what you want to do, it's quicker to make the next ones. The first one always takes longest. While you're kind of working out all the details of what you want to do. And see, that tape just keeps wanting to pop up, so I might just put a little bit of, maybe just glue stick, so it's not super permanent. And back is probably even more important to ink, so you don't see a really bright spot. And those edges really good. And again, I'm going to let that dry before I poke it through. Go ahead and do the tape. Cover my ink. Might be a while till I use it again. And so I started with the birds on top. I'm not measuring it out, I'm just making sure I have enough to go around and round and around. Trying to keep it nice and straight so that it doesn't go crooked when it comes back around to the front. Find the edge. Some of these are so smooth. I must have done it. It almost looks like it's there, but it's not. There it is. That's why I don't do that. But I did it, didn't I? It's just harder to find it when it's right there on the edge. And it's probably problematic when it comes over around and just has a bit. It'd be probably better if it came halfway or something. Oh, some of this stuff is so thin. That's something to stick it to. Another one. I'm thinking that gold string just might be the ticket. If I can get it to, if it's long enough for me to work with. That's sometimes the problem with those little, this is from dollar store Christmas ornaments. Don't know how they expect you to tie it. Oops, I don't want them upside down. And again, take my glasses off to find it. When it's a busy pattern, I find it hard to see it. I hope these aren't too bulky. I think I'm okay for most of them because I made them tuck spots, not pockets. But the one that's a pocket might be a problem. Might be problematic, let's say that. Burnish before I tried to lift it up. Imagine there'll be a Christmas ATC swap in at least one Facebook group, and this would be, if they're also junk journalers, this would be a good one to swap because I'm giving a little bit of washi tape as a gift. May not be the ones I want to post on just the ATC sites. I mean, I can put it right in the description that it comes with extra washi tape. Someone that's interested will pick it. You find that on those ATC trading sites, some of the people on there are only interested in the same kind of art that they do, like whether it's hand-drawn, hand-painted, that sort of thing. And they, you know, they don't mind saying it, and it doesn't really bother me. I wish that I could draw and paint like they do, and if I could, I would trade with them because I love the cards that they make, but some of them don't really want to trade with people who do collage. It's just a different type of art that maybe they don't appreciate as much as we do. I wouldn't say that they're snobby. They like what they like, and that's what they want to collect. You wouldn't collect a baseball card from a player you didn't know or didn't like, so it's the same kind of thing. You collect what you like. You don't worry about the value of it, or with art especially. You're supposed to just collect what you like. So I used to be offended when I first started trading because they were hand-drawn, hand-painted only, please. And I'm like, oh, well, aren't you hoity-toity? And then I got thinking about it. Well, yeah, why would you collect something you don't want? You collect something you want. If you don't want a bunch of collage stuff, then you're not going to collect a bunch of collage stuff. I have to admit, some of the ones that I've received that were simply a printable stuck to a piece of card, I wasn't terribly impressed. If it was their own printable that they created on Canva or whatever, I get that that is art. But if it wasn't their printable, then that really doesn't impress me much. Like Shania Twain. That don't impress me much. I have used printables, but I fussy cut them, ink them, use them in interesting ways. So I feel that that is more artistic, instead of just the whole front of the card being a printable. So we got our 4 little tags made. We will go back now and poke our holes for the string. And that's where the hard part starts, I think. Getting those strings through and tied and willing to stay in place. Because sometimes I found with the satin ribbon, it doesn't want to stay tied. I got to put a little dab of glue or something. So let's just see if I can even get this. Normally do like a lark's head. You fold it in half first and stick it through. And I always stick it through from the front. It's not that it's the right way, it's just the way that I do it. And then you pull the loose ends through the loop that you've created and pull it tight. Yeah, I think that's all that needs. Do I have 4 of them? I do. So I'll keep them all the same, even though I've pulled out all this other stuff. It's all stuff that I will use for Christmassy cards and stuff. So I'm going to keep it out and make a little Christmas bag. Imagine that when I'm at my dad's in November, I'm going to want to be doing some Christmas stuff. So I'm going to get that ready today. Start to anyway. And I might put a little dab of glue on the back, because I have found that these gold strings don't stay tight. So I'm just going to put a dab of glue on the back side and let that sit while I'm doing the others. So then hopefully it won't unravel. I'm really happy with these. I wasn't even intending to do that today. And then when I was doing the snippets, I just mentioned casually that I might do an ATC while I had the stuff out. And then I asked them to stay till the end of the video, so I thought I'd better do it. So I did, and then I thought, well, I'm going to keep going and use up the scraps on my desk. Because ATCs are great for scrap use. Make that a little bit bigger. A little dot. Doesn't need much. Doesn't need much glue, just a little dot of glue. there's at least one more in here. I think these come with the little tiny foil wrapped presents, and these are what you're supposed to tie it up with, either that or little tin or wooden soldiers or something. Something I got at the dollar store anyway for Christmas. I used it probably to make earrings last year. Okay, so this one is a tuck spot. Is that dry enough? Just barely. So I'll probably have this one like kind of like this. It could go straight up and down. And then from the front you will just see the string. So these will all work, but I'm going to let them dry a little longer. I'm just going to show you what I meant by the way it sticks out of the pocket. So this is I haven't decorated this yet. I'm probably going to decorate over this Paris, Texas Hardware logo and leave the bottom part because it's pretty. But this is my ATC book. So there's just one person in here. I got that one. There's only one person in here that has never responded after she said she wanted to trade. And I remind her about every month. And I imagine now she's just embarrassed that she hasn't responded, so she's not responding. But I really still do want to trade. Jennifer, if you would please contact me back. These are ATCs that I got in swaps, and I've lost track of who sent them to me. Actually, I think I know who sent these, but they said it wasn't their own work, so I didn't put their name on them. And then these ones are just ones that I have traded. So I put their address and name on the back in case I ever want to send them happy mail. So I kind of have them sorted. This page is all bees. This page is all dragonflies, but I only have 2. These ones are all by the same artist. And then these ones are all sideways ones, landscape orientation. I wish there was pages for that, but I realize why there isn't, because they wouldn't fit on the page very well. But they could do like a pocket, a horizontal pocket, and then a twinchy pocket, and then a twinchy pocket and a horizontal pocket. Maybe I'll have to design that. I could do it. And then there's some, I love that cardinal one. This one I love with the woven yarn. And so I've got Halloween pages, a couple of them. And so I will start a Christmas page. Well, I already have the cardinals with the Christmas tree decoration. So I'll just try this. I'll try this one because it has the button, and that's what we were concerned about, whether the button would go in. Well, this one doesn't really have to go in, but I don't really store my tradable ones in here. I store one of each one that I want to keep. I'm just doing this for demonstration purposes. You would have to be able to lift this enough to get that to go in. Yeah, so it will go in. And this one might be the one that I keep for myself because it's the oddball. The other 4 are... So these are the ones I've made. Right from the beginning. I think those were my first ones. And you see how I do halves of things quite a bit. And then that tie-dye series that I did this summer. And then more collages. My dragonflies were my favorite. I saved 3 of those. I just couldn't bear to trade them. Eventually I probably will. Just keep one. But these were my mom's. These little dragonflies were out of her stash. And then my Halloween ones so far. And so now I will start my Christmas page. And I'm going to save this one. Actually, I'm going to put that tag in. So I need to put something on it. I think on that one, it has a bigger hole. So I'm going to use the silver that I found. This sort of yarn stuff. I'm going to use that in there. And I'm going to double it up, I think. This is that yarn that is kind of like mesh. I love that stuff. So I think what I want to do is this. Actually ends up being quadrupled, not just doubled. I'll make my loop and go through. I don't think I have to worry about this stuff coming unraveled. I don't quite see what I'm doing here. There we go. And then it's already kind of angled at the top, but I'm going to just cut that on an angle, tidy it up a bit. And then that will go in the back of the card like this, so you can still see the music. Actually, maybe I want to see the music on the front when it's in the book. And so that's what I meant when I said that you can sometimes have something sticking out off the top of the card, because even if it was down here, it could still stick up in front of the other card. In fact, this one may be better off being down here so that it's not sticking out of the top of the book. There is a bit of a border up there, but I'll start that there. And the other thing that I do on my cards, which I didn't do to this one yet, is I put my little Thistledew Creations or signature. I think I'm going to, because there's no writing along the bottom there, I'm going to put my Thistledew Creations YouTube thing. And it's just one of these. I print them out on sheets and then I cut them out. Ink the edges. I try to print them. I have some printed on white paper because I can always ink them. But this is printed on coffee dyed paper. So it's already beige. And I usually put them like this way, but I don't want to cover. I'm just saving this one for myself. So I think what I'm going to do here is I'm going to, that was done with ripple scissors, but I'm just going to kind of go back and forth. That didn't do much, but the ripple scissors are way over on the other side of the room. Just put this on. I haven't done this, cut them apart and use them. I'm going to cover that little bit of writing there. And then I'll put I'm still going to put my YouTube thing up there just in case I ever do trade it. It's part of this era that I'm in, a YouTube era. And then I'll get one of my black fine markers. And I think I'm going to sign this one this way. And then I'm going to start in the center. See if he remains in the center. Maybe the center square. And that little piece of ribbon is going to get bent unless I do this. It'd be worth doing that for this one. Another thing I can do is take this pokey tool and just lay that back down in there. There. And then there will be another card going in above it at some point in time. But that doesn't hurt it, you know? So, there, my first Christmas ATC ever. Anyway, that's it for today. Like, comment, share, subscribe, but most of all, have a great day.